Signed up tonight? For the record, all members are present. Approval of the May 7th meeting minutes, gents?
So moved.
The motion and the second, please. There you go, second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approved. Minutes are approved for May 7th. Bill payments. Voucher number 201-808-17 through 201-80930 for a total of $283,212.45. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I have a motion. Can I have a second, please? Should I get a second?
Second.
Okay, I'm sorry. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to pay the bills. All right. Department heads. Polly Sigmund.
Nothing much new. We're still trying to catch up. We're still about 3 weeks behind now. We were 4. People putting brush out, we know you have it out. I mean, we have people that call 3 times a week. It's been taking them 3 weeks to do the town because there is so much stuff out because of the windstorms, that little ice storm we had. If you don't stack it properly, if there's vines in it, metal stakes, my guys are told to leave it there because we don't have time to pull a pile apart that was just thrown every which way. We also do not do a schedule. We haven't done a schedule in 4 years. The reason why we don't do a schedule is if you were scheduled for a Monday, well, there's like 3 holidays on Mondays. So you get 3 times a summer that you don't get your brush picked up. We start at one part of town, and we try to work our way through the town, follow roads such as state roads, some county roads. They do it when they have an extra guy that can follow them. So if you're putting brush out, have patience. We're trying our best. Same thing with potholes. We're out almost every day. It ain't raining out, trying to get the potholes filled. We do want to start our regular road maintenance besides potholes coming up here. It's just everything's about a month behind. That's all I have.
Thank you, Paul. Any questions to ask for Paul? Richie Donner, Sewer Water. Good evening, Rich.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Another beautiful day. We'll keep all this dry weather we can.
Yeah.
Couple things. Summer help did start today. I had a couple guys start. They are going out and doing maintenance on all the grinder tanks in town, so they'll be around all 700 of them. It'll probably take them most of the summer to do it, but if anybody has any questions or sees them on their property, they'll be in a town-marked vehicle. They'll also have town shirts on, and they should have a town ID with them, so don't be afraid to ask them for that if there's anything suspicious going on or whatever. But I also have a couple guys very shortly be out doing hydrant and valve maintenance also for the summer, so we're out trying to get going. And be patient with us on the landscaping, folks. We're like Polly, we're a little behind, but we did get some topsoil, and we're going to start on that here in the next couple days.
Great. That's it, Rich? Any questions for Rich? Ben? Also, thank you, Rich. Mike Rinaldi, Recreation Department.
Hello. Just like my guys up there, we're all getting around. We're cutting grass, getting our cul-de-sacs cut, and patience is clutch. Weather's been good though. It's cooperated so far. Last week we started playing games. We got 265 games scheduled from now until July. Had a rain out Saturday morning for T-ball coach pitch, so we got 6 games there to reschedule. We'll get those in the coming weeks. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot. Our summer camp is full. We do run another camp we call Fairmount Park Activity Days. That starts the first week of July. It's only from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Shorter time frame, cheaper price, $6 per day. A lot of parents, utilize that time to drop the kids off, go to the park, and get some grocery shopping done and stuff like that. So, outside of that, and fishing derby. We're going to host that June 16th. We did 17th last year, but that's all I got.
I had one comment. The plaque at Fairmount Park, the dedication plaque, was missing for many years. And I want to thank you in front of everyone here tonight for reinstalling the dedication plaque at Fairmont Park.
Yeah, it's
certainly
funny
appreciate
because you mentioned it maybe 2 months ago
Yeah,
about replacing it, and I didn't even know there was a plaque on this
yeah.
giant granite rock in the middle of a circle next to a flagpole.
And if you have that
And-
whole list, I think there's only 2 of us left, and I'm one of them.
Well, incidentally, I happened to go up into the attic one day, and my predecessor had ordered the plaque, but never had it installed. We already had it, so we just had to slap it on up. So we're back in business.
I'd like to
Did you
thank you.
say what time the fishing derby starts?
I got to iron that out because I got to coach a game, so I want to make sure I can at least be there for a little while. I think we did 8:30 last year.
Yeah, last year you started
We
earlier.
started it earlier.
I think it worked out
It
pretty
worked out
good.
better? All right, we'll go with
The
that
other
time.
one,
then.
I think you started at
We used to
10
start at 10 to 12, and I
10
would
to 12,
even
but
be there
by
at all.
12 o'clock came around, sometimes it was pretty hot.
Right. Okay, yeah,
So the earlier
8:30
time
sounds
last year,
good.
I thought it worked pretty good.
Cool. All right.
And Mike, I've been up at Fairmont quite a bit with my son starting t-ball, and fields are just beautifully maintained.
Thank you.
Second to none. It's a great job.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, great job, man. Thank you. Mike Clark will not be here tonight. He had some minor eye surgery, and he had 2 black eyes, and I threatened to say I did it, and so he won't be here tonight. Bridget Growie. The long walk, Bridget.
Hello.
Hi, Bridget.
I have nothing.
Okay. Anybody have anything for Bridget? Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Arlene Manti is not here tonight. Wendell Engineers.
Thank you once again. We have 2 items on our agenda tonight. The first one being our planning board report. This one's going to be a little bit on the longer side because it actually covers the last 3 meetings just by the way our schedules have landed. So the first meeting we're going to talk about tonight is the April 18th meeting. First item on that agenda was the site plan for Moog Rocket Test Facility. The applicant proposes various renovations to multiple existing buildings at their location at Wheatfield Business Park, as well as a new construction of a scrubber building, propellant storage building, and associated access drive. Project is anticipated to generate 100 new jobs, 50 at this facility and 50 at the East Aurora facility. The ZBA granted requested height variance, and the town board approved a special use permit for detonable material storage. The planning board subsequently approved the site plan with noted conditions. The second item on the agenda was a site plan for Williams Road Medical Complex. The applicant proposes to develop approximately 14 acres of vacant land located behind the Dave Smith Chevrolet dealership near the southwest corner of Niagara Falls Boulevard and Williams Road. Approximately 5 acres of the site, which is zoned C1, is located in the town of Wheatfield, while the remaining 9 acres are located within the town of Niagara. Phase 1 of the project would include construction of a private road that would extend from the existing entrance at Niagara Falls Boulevard in the town of Niagara through the site and out to Williams Road in the town of Wheatfield. Phase 1 would also include water line, sanitary sewer, and storm sewers for the road. Water, sanitary sewer, and private utilities are to be provided by the town of Niagara, but there is a proposed storm sewer connection to the DOT drainage system in Williams Road in the town of Wheatfield. Future phases of the development would include 3 medical buildings from 16,000 square feet to 20,000 square feet in the town of Niagara portion, and up to 15,000 square feet of retail buildings in the town of Wheatfield. The applicant was advised of several items to include an address on their next submittal, including seeker documentation from the town of Niagara and the documentation from DOT regarding the proposed Williams Road entrance and storm sewer connection. No action was taken. The next item was a site plan from Wheatfield Gardens, but the applicant actually withdrew from the planning board agenda as they were still working on their plans. So we're on to the next meeting, which was May 2nd. First item on that agenda was a site plan for Aubrey Way subdivision. The applicant proposes to subdivide the 17-acre parcel located at 3400 Niagara Falls Boulevard. The lot is proposed to be subdivided into 4.3-acre lot for Bob Weaver Motorsports, with the remaining 12.7 acres to be subdivided into a 23-lot, single-family home residential subdivision. No changes have been made to the site plan since it was last presented to the planning board in 2015. The planning board recommended that the town board declare lead agency status and begin a coordinated review under seeker so that they may consider the seeker findings prior to making a formal recommendation to the town board. No other action was taken, and as you know, the town board started a coordinated review under seeker at the last meeting. Yes, it was.
Thank
The
you.
next The next item is the Wheatfield Gardens site plan that actually made it into this meeting. The applicant proposes to construct a 3,600 square foot addition to the existing greenhouse complex at 7341 Shawnee Road. One of the existing greenhouses will be converted to grow leafy green produce, which is lettuce, and the addition is for a pack house for that produce. The planning board determined that the project is a type 2 action under seeker and requires no further environmental review. The planning board subsequently approved the site plan with noted conditions. The next item is a site plan for what's being called Summit Outlets. The applicant has actually combined the Niagara International Sports Entertainment Complex with the Big Thunder Brewery and Sports Bar project at the Summit Malls and is now calling the project Summit Outlets. Phase 1A of the project will now be the sport field houses, which are two 96,000 square foot metal buildings. And Phase 1B will be the brewery and sports bar, which is converting the Toys R Us store area, updates to the building facade, outdoor volleyball courts, an outdoor patio, and an outdoor lounge house / bar. The applicant presented a new proposed configuration for the main entrance to the mall building and reconfirmed previously submitted sketch plans for Phase 1A and 1B. The applicant must restart the site plan review process and will be required to reapply for previously granted height variances as a result of their relocation of the buildings. As the combined project now exceeds 10 acres of disturbance, it's considered a type 1 action and must proceed with a coordinated review under seeker. The applicant was advised of many items required for site plan review that have yet to be provided. No action was taken. The last meeting is the May 16th meeting. First item on that agenda was a site plan for Borrego Solar Systems. The applicant proposes to construct a 6.1 megawatt ground-mounted utility-scale solar energy system at 2469 Lockport Road. The system would generate and transmit power to the power grid. An estimated $1 million worth of improvements to National Grid's substation would be required for this project. The solar panels would be located at the rear, which is the north end of the property, and will be split with some panels, on the north side of Cayuga Creek and some on the south side. Approximately 29 acres of the 72-acre lot will be covered with solar panels, which will follow the sun's path, or they'll rotate, to maximize efficiency of the system. The Planning Board discussed requirements and processes outlined in the Town Code and discussed several items to include and address with their next submittal. The Planning Board also requested that a glare study be performed and that the results be provided to the FAA, NFTA, and the Air Base. No other action was taken. The next item was a site plan for Driftwood Suites expansion. The applicant proposes to construct a new two-story, 9,800 square foot hotel unit at 2768 Niagara Falls Boulevard. The 20-unit building and associated parking will be located on a recently acquired parcel of land on the south side of 2768 Niagara Falls Boulevard. It's actually the neighboring lot to the existing development. A new pool house is also proposed to be constructed at the south side of the existing townhome units. The applicant was again advised of several outstanding items to include and address in their site plan submittal, including Niagara Falls Boulevard overlay district requirements, setbacks, stormwater management, and utility availability. No action was taken. The last item was a site plan for the Anchor Motel addition. The applicant proposes to modify the existing pool building and construct a 528 square foot addition at 2332 River Road. The modified and expanded building would be used as an office and breakfast area for patrons and an innkeeper residence. The buildings at the site are an existing non-conforming use as the area is zoned R2, and the front building is within the 65-foot setback. The ZBA offered interpretation of the zoning code with respect to the setback measurement, which is to the foundation of the building or exterior roof columns, and the amount of allowable expansion alteration to an existing non-conforming use. The Planning Board reviewed the waterfront assessment form and found the project to be consistent with state guidelines for the town's LWRP. The Planning Board subsequently approved the site plan with noted conditions. That's it. Any questions? Sure. So the Planning Board has been getting a lot of items in and keeping very busy. The next and last item on our agenda is a proposal that we have in for professional services. This is to help support the town board with their Whitmer Road subdivision. For lack of a better name, that's what we're going to call it at this point. But as requested, we threw together a proposal to basically help the town march through the subdivision approval process, which is what anyone developing a subdivision in the town of Wheatfield would have to go through. So that includes a sketch plan that would be reviewed with the planning board, the major subdivision preliminary plat. This actually counts as a major subdivision, even though there are no proposed new town utilities or public utilities. They're all existing. Due to the number of lots, it's considered a major subdivision. So we do the preliminary plat as well as the major subdivision final plat. So we have that as a letter in with our proposal, and if there's any questions on that, I'm free to answer that now or when the motion comes up. Other than that, that's all we have for this evening.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll move on to our attorney with the attorney motions, attorney items.
Starting with the first one from Wendell that Tim mentioned. This motion is from Wendell to authorize Wendell to provide professional design services for the Whitmer Road subdivision in accordance with their proposal letter dated May 17, 2018, for a total estimated fee of $12,500.
A motion, please. I'll make the motion. Have a second? A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. One thing, while we're talking about it, Matt, if you don't mind, we can put this to a motion, but we need a representative from the town board to act as a liaison or representative at the planning board meeting. And I would like to ask Larry Hellwood to do that. And Larry, if you can't make it, then I'll be glad to back it up.
Okay.
And I think we should probably do it to a motion because it'll be an official capacity.
Yes, certainly can.
Can I have that motion, please? We have Larry and I act as the representatives with the planning board.
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, Larry.
Next motion again from Wendell. Whereas the Wheatfield Town Code contains and specifies local laws and ordinances of the town of Wheatfield, and it has been determined that the town code needs amending due to the need for procedural improvements for modification to parking requirements, and whereas the town has prepared draft language to amend the town code chapter 200 zoning, and whereas in accordance with part 617 of the implementing regulations pertaining to Article 8 State Environmental Quality Review Act of the Environmental Conservation Law, the Wheatfield Town Board has conducted an environmental review of this revised code, and whereas the town has identified there are no other permitting or approval agencies for this action, and whereas a public hearing was held regarding these code amendments today on May 21st, 2018, and comments were received, and whereas pursuant to municipal home rule law, the town board is proposing to adopt this zoning code amendment by enacting a local law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wheatfield Town Board, in accordance with the State Environmental Quality Review Act, has determined that the proposed amendments to the town code Chapter 200 zoning will not adversely affect the natural resources of the state and or the health, safety, and welfare of the public, and is consistent with the social and economic considerations, and therefore issues the attached seeker negative declaration in accordance with Section 617.7 of the seeker regulations, and be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign the environmental assessment form, which will act as a negative declaration.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from Wendell on that same subject. Whereas the Wheatfield Town Code contains and specifies the local laws and ordinances of the town of Wheatfield, and it has been determined that the town code needs amending due to the need for procedural improvements for modifications to parking requirements, and whereas the town has prepared draft language to amend the existing section of the zoning chapter of the Wheatfield Town Code, and whereas the town board held the required public hearing today, May 21st, 2018, and received public comment, and whereas pursuant to municipal home rule law, the town board is proposing to enact the local law as follows. Be it enacted by the town board of the town of Wheatfield, New York, that the Wheatfield Town Board amends the Wheatfield Town Code as follows. Chapter 200, zoning, Article 8, off-street parking, loading, and stacking. Section 200-59, modification of requirements. Amend Section 259, paragraph A as follows. Variations. The planning board may vary the parking, stacking, and loading requirements of this article when it finds that due to the nature of the particular use, the enumerated requirements will not be adequate, or where the strict application of the requirements will result in excess amount of facilities related to that particular use. Whereas the town board has issued a negative declaration in accordance with seeker requirements, now therefore be it resolved that the Wheatfield Town Board amends the Code of the Town of Wheatfield, Chapter 200, entitled Zoning, to provide for the revision of the town code as referenced above.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion, Water and Sewer, to authorize the Water and Sewer Department to create an additional MEO position for the Water and Sewer Department.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next motion, again from Water and Sewer, to appoint Water and Sewer Department employee Robert Feitner to the newly created MEO position within the Water and Sewer Department.
So moved.
Second. Was that a second?
A third.
Sounded like it.
I have a motion and a sneeze. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next motion, again from Water and Sewer Department, whereas due to the cost increases to the Water and Sewer Department for water meters, brass, copper, as well as the cost of increased labor and fuel costs, the Water and Sewer Department seeks to increase certain rates, and whereas the certain water fees have not been increased since 2014, and certain other sewer fees have not been increased since 2007, now therefore be it resolved that the following Water and Sewer Department fees are increased as follows, and I'll leave that as presented in the list. And it is further resolved that the Town of Wheatfield water application is increased from currently $175 to $200. Downspout and gutter inspection fees that are now currently $25 be increased to $30. And it is further resolved that the water and sewer compliance inspections currently at $30 be increased to $50. And it is further resolved that the sewer tap fees are to be increased from the current amount of $600 to $750. And it is further resolved that the cost of hydrant markers shall be increased from the current amount of $25 to $30.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion, whereas an application has been duly made to the Board of the Town of Wheatfield, County of Niagara, New York by Time Warner Cable Northeast LLC, locally known as Charter Communications, a limited liability company organized and existing in good standing under the laws of the state of Delaware, doing business at 2604 Seneca Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York 14305, for the approval of a renewal agreement for Time Warner Cable's television franchise for 15 years, commencing with the date of approval by the Public Service Commission. And whereas the franchise renewal agreement would bring the franchise into conformity with certain provisions of the Federal Cable Communications Police Act of 1984, as amended, and certain court rulings. And whereas a public hearing was held in the town of Wheatfield, New York on today, May 21st, 2018, at 7 p.m., and the notice of meeting of the hearing was published in the Niagara Gazette and Niagara Wheatfield Tribune on April 26, 2018. Now, therefore, the Board of the Town of Wheatfield finds that, number one, Time Warner Cable Northeast LLC has substantially complied with the material terms and conditions of existing franchise and with applicable law. Number two, Time Warner Cable Northeast LLC has the financial, legal, and technical ability to provide these services, facilities, and equipment as set forth in the proposal attached. And number three, Time Warner Cable Northeast LLC can reasonably meet the future cable-related community needs, interests, taking into account the cost of meeting such needs and interests. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of the Town of Wheatfield hereby grants the cable television franchise of Time Warner Cable Northeast LLC and the Town of Wheatfield for 15 years, commencing with the date of approval by the Public Service Commission and expiring 15 years hence. And be it further resolved that the Board of the Town of Wheatfield hereby confirms acceptance of this franchise renewal agreement.
Motion to approve. Need a second? Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Next motion from the Highway Department to hire David Worley Jr. as a seasonal employee with a start date of June 18, 2018, at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to job specifications of the Highway Department's seasonal help and pending approval of Human Resources and a Niagara County criminal background check.
Make the motion.
Have a motion
So moved.
and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the town board to authorize the town of Wheatfield to issue payment in the amount of $500 to Ronald Highland for damages sustained to his pickup truck on January 8, 2018. By making said payment, the town does not acknowledge any liability in this matter, and the issuance of said $500 deductible payment is conditioned upon receipt by the town of a general release signed by Mr. Highland of any further claims against the town.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the budget director. Be it resolved that this town board does hereby approve the following 2018 budget transfers for the general fund as presented in the motion package.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from the budget director to approve an amendment of the 2018 sewer fund budget to provide the estimated revenue and budget appropriation for the grant from the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York to provide funds to pay for a portion of the purchase and installation of generators at the sewer lift stations as follows, and that's as presented.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the Water and Sewer Department to authorize the Water and Sewer Department to correct a billing error on account number 8750-000. This adjustment is to correct an overcharge on said account that was created by a billing error, and as such, the bill needs to be adjusted downward in the amount of $45,791.42. Accordingly, this resolution authorized Water and Sewer Department to correct the billing error with a reduction to said account in the amount of $45,791.42.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the Recreation Department to hire John Trover, Sidney Krangle, Kelsey Lachowski, Lamar Roundtree, and Riley Muldoon for all new employees as summer camp staff at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of the Recreation Department's seasonal help, pending Human Resources approval and Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from the Recreation Department to hire Michael Richbart as the tennis instructor for the town's tennis camp. That will run for the summer of 2018. Mr. Richbart is a returning employee. Said hiring is subject to wage and job specifications for said position and is contingent upon final review by the Human Resource Department and Niagara County Sheriff's Department criminal background check.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again, Recreation Department to approve the purchase of 1 rock climbing wall and 2 Sea Spring riders from Miracle Recreation Equipment Co. on the NASPO Value Point Master Contract number 6485, Parts and Recreation Equipment and Related Service, New York State Contract PC 67836 for a total of $5,360. These 3 pieces of equipment to be placed inside the playground area at Mariel Park.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
I got a question.
Yep.
Mike, do you need to contact our insurance carrier just to let them know that we have this going into the park? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again, the Recreation Department to hire Jonah Crow as summer health groundskeeper. Said hiring is subject to the rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of the Recreation Department's seasonal help, pending approval of Human Resources and a Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Then we have 2 more motions that came in late. I believe this first one is from Wendell. Whereas the town of Wheatfield applied for a grant under the 2017 New York State DOT Bridge New York program for rehabilitation of Cayuga Drive Extension Bridge, and whereas the town of Wheatfield was approved for said grant under project PIN 5762.16. And whereas the town of Wheatfield has reviewed this project as it relates to 6 NYCRR Part 617, seeker of the Environmental Conservation Law, and has determined the project meets the criteria of a Type 2 action as defined in Section 617.5 C2, which states replacement, rehabilitation, or reconstruction of a structure or facility in kind on the same site. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wheatfield Town Board determines that the proposed Cayuga Drive Extension Bridge project is a Type 2 action under seeker and is therefore not subject to any further review under seeker, and be it further resolved that documentation of this Type 2 action determination be placed in the project file and provided to the grant agency.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And I believe the final motion from Water and Sewer Department to hire Noah Walker as a seasonal employee with the Water and Sewer Department at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to job specifications of the Water and Sewer Department's seasonal help, and pending approval of the Human Resources and a Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And that is all the motions I have for tonight.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
All right, let's move along with our board members. Larry Hellwood.
All my questions are answered. I don't have anything else.
Okay. Kurt Doctor.
I don't have anything tonight.
Gil Doucette.
I received a letter from Burkle's Fire Hall. I'll read it real quick. As most of you know, this is Burkle Fire Company's 100th anniversary. As part of the celebrations, we are planning a field day with a parade, food trucks, and bands. We would like to request the use of some of the town's snow fence to help contain the area. We would also like to put some American flags up along Niagara Road for the month of July, as it has been done in the past for field days. We would provide the flags and poles. The use of the town's lift and manpower would be a great aid in getting flags up. I'll make a motion to let them use our snow fence, also let them put flags up along Niagara and help.
I have a question. Do we have to get an easement from National Grid, or just go up and stick pole or flags up there?
I guess the brackets are still there from the last field day.
Yes, Paul. Okay. Why don't we make it subject to that approval?
Okay.
So I'll second it. Subject to the approval of National Grid to install the flags with town equipment on their poles. Is that okay?
Okay. Yep. Also, I have correspondence from Adams Fire Hall.
Wait a minute, we got a motion on
Okay.
it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I've got correspondence from Adams Fire Hall. They'd like to add Brandon Hall, Robert Klontz, J.J. Whipple, Mackenzie Witkowski, Philip Jock, and Brian O'Connor to the roster.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Joe. Randy.
Just that tomorrow night there's an agricultural focus group meeting at 7 p.m. over at the community center, and that's all I have.
I guess everything we've covered. This past Saturday, we had some veterans meet at the helicopter, but unfortunately it was raining, and we did a reschedule for this Saturday morning. If there's any veterans out there that would like to help clean and renovate the existing UE helicopter. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town, but there will be other veterans there, and the highway department has supplied a hose and some equipment, and we have purchased paint, and we're going to repaint it and make the helicopter a dust-off helicopter, which would be a medevac helicopter. So looking forward to seeing that progress over the summer. Also, thanks to Matt and Ed, and we worked the past several weeks with Modern Disposal to extend our contract. It's not in ink yet, but we've been working hard, and it looks like we're gonna be able to extend the existing contract for which is like a cost of living, but a CPI adjustment, where many of the other municipalities have gone anywhere up from 18 to 23%. So we're very fortunate. In the long run, it'll save the town a lot of money. So thank you, Ed and Matt. That's all I have. Yes? Okay. Our next meeting is June 4th, 2018 at 7 o'clock, regular town board meeting. Any public input for anything that we have discussed tonight? Anyone? Justin, come on up.
Hi everybody, I'm Justin Hegner, town historian. Just want to remind everybody to come to our Memorial Day service coming up on May 28th, Monday morning at 11 a.m. at the Highway Garage on Ward Road. It'll start at 11 a.m. and go until 12, and then starting right after that will be a chowder sale. I think it's chicken corn chowder over at the American Legion Post 1451, located right next to the Lions Club and Five Senses Park. The Lions Club representative will be there to lay the town wreath on that occasion. This has just come in today, by the way, at the Niagara Aerospace Museum, and following on the heels of the helicopter restoration at the Niagara Aerospace Museum on May 23rd, this upcoming Wednesday. There will be a little memorial service there, actually for the first time ever, to honor Ivan Ivanovich, who was a World War II pilot who went down in the P-39 craft that's on display there. What's called Lady of the Lake, or Miss Lend-Lease, is our star attraction, if you will, over at the museum. But it's also uniquely a memorial to this man, so there'll be a little thing there at 6 p.m. that day.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it. Anyone else? We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.